everybody, I am so excited that you are here with me today. So welcome to the Artistic Box, and we're going to do some fun drawing today. So today we're going to work on making these beautiful shells, okay? I figured since it was summer, we would do something kind of summery and fun. And then we're going to do this piece of art that you can actually just go outside and use a flower to inspire you. So I use this one, okay? So let's go over what's in your art box, because you have a few things that you may not be familiar with. Maybe you've done charcoal before, but if you haven't, let's go over what's in your box. So this first one is called a kneaded eraser. And if you can see, you just kind of like play with it, kind of like Play-Doh and like clay. You just kind of bend it and fold it, and this is your eraser. But the thing is that you don't ever want to like rip it and tear it apart. You really want to keep it together. You just want to fold it. Okay, and as you fold it, it gets lighter and it mixes in all that charcoal that you've erased. Then your next thing is this little guy, and this is called a tortillon or a blending stump, and we'll use this to shade and blend things in. And then you have your other, not paintbrush, your other pencil, and this is going to be ebony. This is going to be like a lighter one, your shading ebony pencil, and then your darkest black one. This is called charcoal. So this is extremely dark. I mean, if you bear down hard enough, it'll be totally black, okay? So now that we know what everything is, we are gonna get started. So go ahead and get your paper out, okay, out of your box. And we are gonna start first with making our shells, okay? So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get our ebony pencil, our lighter one, and we're just gonna kind of sketch and outline all of our shells at the same time, okay? So the first one we'll do is this little guy up here. So go and start at the top, okay? And we're just gonna kind of make a rounded out shell. And then you're gonna kind of curve down below, circle around, and then make the bottom. So it looks kind of like that, okay? And then you're gonna start outlining some of the dark lines that this shell is gonna have, okay? What's so neat about shells is that every shell is different, so you can add really pretty much whatever you want to add to it. Now, this shell has several lines. We're just going to add those lines starting at the center, and then they go out and they touch the very end, okay? Then the second thing we're going to work on is filling in a little bit of the middle, so it's shaded in a little bit darker, and then we're going to fill in this area right down here. This is the opening to the shell. So kind of just shade the opening in, just like that, okay? So that is your first shell that you just made, good job. Okay, now our second shell. Our second shell is gonna look like that one, okay? So it has a pointy tip, kind of like a sandcastle. And you're gonna start at the top, okay? And it's gonna kind of go around the sides, just like this, and kind of fans out and gets bigger. And then it gets really big in the center, okay? And then it kind of curves down and has an opening, just like that, okay? And then you're gonna come across where the opening is right here, and you're gonna kind of cut this off. That's the end of the shell, all right? And then you're gonna fill this in with a line, and this in, and this in. Okay, so you have a big shell, just like that, okay? And then we'll go back and fill this one in later with that dark charcoal pencil, okay? So it looks a little bit bland right now. It's okay. We're gonna jazz it up in a second. Okay, so now we're gonna work on this next shell. And it's kind of like a tiger shell. Of course, my kids are all into tigers right now. The more dangerous, the better, actually, to them, since they're boys. Okay, so anyways, we're gonna start at the top. And we're gonna start with a point at the top, okay? And then you're gonna fan out and come down, kind of like the point of a triangle, okay? And then you're gonna make the opening right here to this shell. You'll make a long line and then come back down to make another line, okay? Just like that. And then you're gonna have at the top rings. So you'll make 1 ring, 2 rings, 3 rings, all at the top, okay? So now you have your third shell. We are moving right along. Okay. And then we're gonna go back and add details on that one too later, okay? Now, if at any time, if you need to stop, take a break, do whatever you want to do, go for it. Take a snack break. I know I get hungry pretty much every 5 minutes. So if you need something like that, don't worry, feel free to pause it. Okay, so now our next shell is this one. Okay, I love these. These are probably my favorite shells that I find at the beach. Okay, so you're gonna start at the bottom and you're gonna kind of just make a rounded out rectangle, just like that, okay? Then you're gonna fan it up, so it's gonna kind of go up and it starts at the top and it goes up and then it does little tiny scalloped edges, okay? All the way till it gets to the top. And then you're gonna do little scalloped edges on this side. Okay, just like that. Scalloped edges all over, okay? And then we're gonna make it come in the middle and meet at a sharp point, okay? So it'll meet at a sharp point, just like that. All right? There's your sharp point. And then all the little scalloped edges, you're just gonna draw lines from where those were. So there's a line here, there's a line, and they all come down to the center, okay? So they'll all kind of make a total center by those scalloped lines, just like that, okay? So isn't this fun? I know, I love drawing. Okay, so now we'll add those details in a minute with the charcoal, okay? But our last shell we're gonna get to is this really cute one down here at the bottom. I love that one. So that one is really long and pointy. So you're just gonna start a long skinny line that kind of fans out, and then it comes to a rounded point and comes back. It's almost like an ice cream cone. That sounds really good. That might have to be one of our next projects. That'd be fun to draw. So this one, you're gonna have a circle in the center, kind of like an oval at the base of it, then another oval added inside of it, okay? And then this one is just gonna be covered in lines that kind of make their way all to the very bottom of the shell. Okay, kind of like rings all the way to the bottom. So now you have all of your shells. Okay, that wasn't that bad. Are you still with me? So now we're gonna take our favorite special pencil called charcoal, and we are gonna go through and add all those special details, okay? So on this first shell that we started off with at the top, you're gonna go and you're gonna fill in dark all those lines that we made at first, okay? So if you can see this, we're really filling in dark. I mean, you can tell it is so much darker. Oh my goodness. So that's what you get when you have charcoal. I love charcoal. I feel like it really defines the lines and it just kind of makes everything look more detailed. Okay, so all I do is I'm just filling in those huge lines that we made earlier. Okay, one line at a time, just filling those in. And I'm filling them in pretty dark, okay? And then I'm gonna go on the outer edge, I'm gonna cover this part right here, a little darker. And then go ahead and outline the whole shell in that dark pencil. Okay, and your whole dark pencil, your charcoal. Okay? And right now, if you want, you can add another line. You can kind of shape up those lines, make them look a little different. I mean, remember, this is your project. So you can do whatever you want to do, okay? Okay, so now that we've got our shell pretty filled in, okay, maybe I want to add another little line right here. I know, I just have a problem stopping. Okay, so it looks really good. Let's add a few little tiny strokes up here, just to give it a little bit texture, just a little bit extra texture. Okay, so now we'll move on to our next one. Now this next one is going to be really pretty because this one has a lot of little dark lines. So what I want you to do is take each ring that we made earlier, outline all the rings, and then outline the whole shell, okay? With your dark charcoal pencil, okay? All right, have you outlined all of it? Okay, so now that you've outlined all of your shell, okay, you can see it so much better now, I'm sure. Then you're gonna add little tiny thin lines on each row. So the top row, and those will be vertical lines. So we're just adding some vertical lines, okay? And we're gonna add a few thin vertical lines in the center, just like that, okay? And then we're gonna go back and we're gonna add some dots to kind of give our shell a little bit more detail, okay? Shells are beautiful, and I've never seen a shell that looks exactly like the other one. So if you wanna make yours really detailed and add a bunch of cool stuff, you can, okay? Okay, and then at the very bottom, we're gonna try to shade in this area right here, the opening. That's kind of where the shadow comes down. So we're gonna kind of make that a little bit of shadow and a little bit of shading and fill this part in, okay? Okay, and if you wanna add a few thin lines right here, you can. Just a few thin lines to finish it up. Okay, so now let's move on to our next one, the tiger shell, okay? And this one, we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna outline all of it in dark charcoal, okay? Outline all of it in dark charcoal. So every line you've made, outline it, okay? And remember, if you need to erase anything, take your eraser and use it, okay? It works great. So now you're gonna add like thick, square-shaped dots, okay? So all across your shell, you're gonna add rows of thick, square-shaped dots. They can be different sizes, different thicknesses, okay? We're just gonna add a little bit of detail, just like that. And then a few dots over here on the far left side, okay? Just like that, okay? Good. All right, now the next one we'll do is the fan one. And this one is kind of cool. You're gonna shade all the way across your fan. So it's like, you'll start here on this end, and you'll kind of go all the way across at the same height and fan it out, okay? And then you do another row of filling in. Okay, it's like you're shading across. And then you'll do another row. Okay, just like that. You're shading all the way across. Let's do one more row of shading. Okay, got that? And then we're gonna fill in this, the bottom, with your dark charcoal pencil. Okay? The bottom, and then we'll outline the whole shell in charcoal. All right. Okay, just like that. Okay, and then go back and shade in along those lines you already made. Okay. And then this shell is done with that charcoal pencil. And we still have one more thing left. Okay, I know you probably thought you were done, but you're really not. You're getting close. Okay, so the last shell we'll do is this one. Okay, that's the last one we're gonna do. And this one, all you're gonna do is take your charcoal pencil and darken those lines, the rings that we made. Make them really dark. So that way it's a really good contrast between the white rings and the dark rings. Okay? And then once you fill in all of those, then you'll take the bottom of it and you're gonna fill in that bottom oval. And then we're gonna outline the other oval and outline the whole shell in dark charcoal. Okay. And then outline the very bottom, fill that in. We don't want to have too much white at the top. Okay, and add a few little dots at the bottom. Okay, so we have finished with our shells, except for your last little tiny piece, okay? So now you're gonna take your blending stump and you're gonna do just that. You're gonna blend all of the dark parts of your picture. So right here, you're gonna take it And you're gonna go, and on that black, you're just gonna kind of take it and blend it in. And what you'll notice is all of a sudden your picture starts to look real smooth, and in my opinion, it just looks more finished. So I go back in and smooth all of those pencil marks. So even with my lighter ebony pencil, I can shade everything in with my blender. I can blend it all in, add a few extra marks, a few extra pieces. Okay, if you think it looks kind of boring, blend some areas in together, add a few shading, light shadings. What it does, it just kind of blends in everything. So I'm taking it, I'm just going all around everything I did. And how you hold a blending stuff, you don't want to hold it like straight on the paper, you actually want to hold it sideways. And so it kind of works like sideways, okay? And then I'm just going to blend all my shells, okay? Every single one of them, I'm just going to blend in all those lines, all those spots, okay? So as you can see, I'm just blending every single one. I'm just kind of going back over, outlining each one, okay? And then it's done, all finished. Okay, so our next project, which is a lot faster than this one. The next project is gonna be making this flower, okay? So it's actually just 2 stems. So you can get another sheet of paper, okay? You have another sheet in your box. And that was what this is for. Or you can always do something else, I don't care. So this one, you just kind of take your line at the bottom and you go up to the right, just like that. And then you make another one that curves up, okay? So they kind of crisscross right in the middle, all right? And then this one, we made it up to the right. This one just has little tiny thin petals. All of your petals have a line and then they kind of come out to a thin point, okay? And I'm just gonna do a line and then a thin petal all down, okay, just like that, all the way down. And I'm making my petals get a little bit bigger. You don't want all your petals to be the same size, okay? And then they'll get a little bit smaller as they get down to the very bottom. Okay, just like that. So that's one side. And the other side, I'm just gonna kind of go in between those and add another petal. Just like that, okay? Kind of going in between those, adding some different sizes, okay? And, okay, all right, I'm done with that first one, okay? And I'm gonna go ahead and add a line right down the center of each petal, okay? So just kind of take your charcoal pencil and add a line right in the middle, okay? And I'm starting off with charcoal because sometimes if you take your ebony pencil and you go over it with charcoal, the charcoal will not cover it. And I really wanted these to be dark, okay? So the next flower that we're gonna do is this one over here, okay, on this side. And we're gonna kind of do the same system, okay? We're gonna kind of take this one and we're gonna break it off into 2 pieces. There's another piece, and there's another piece, okay? And then we're gonna add our petals. So a line and then a few petals, okay? I like just adding petals everywhere, okay? Adding a few petals here. And all of your petals are kind of in the same shape. They all have a sharp point that they come to. Just like that, okay? So you're kind of adding petals and then you can have a big one right here at the end, all right? And then we'll add maybe a flower over here. We'll add another little flower right here. And this one, you're gonna make a big U first, and then you're gonna make little mountain tops at the top of it. Okay, like that. And then you'll kind of come down with 2 lines, and suddenly you have a flower. Okay, just like that. So that's our first flower, and then we'll kind of add maybe another little petal right there for that flower to have. Okay, and then we're gonna add a few petals on this side, okay, and then one big petal at the end, and we'll add one more little stem over here, and we'll maybe have that another flower. So make your U, and then you're gonna do a mountain, another mountain, and another mountain. Just like that, okay? And that's your flower. And then we'll do another few leaves, okay? What's so cool about this drawing is that you can add 1,000,000 leaves, or you can add just a few leaves. It really won't matter. You can just kind of make it your own. If you want to add a lot of leaves, go for it. If you want to add just one, add just one. Maybe it's like a plant that's dying. I have a few of those at my house right now. Okay, so now that we've done with our flowers, our outline of our flowers, now you're going to take your ebony pencil and you're going to shade just the base of each one. So the very bottom of each leaf, you're just going to kind of shade the bottom of it, okay? Fill it in a little bit, all right? We'll make the ends of our leaves a little bit lighter and we'll put the bottom of the leaf a little bit darker. Okay, so kind of shade in a little bit of that. All right, you can make your line in the center of each leaf and then shade a little bit of the bottom. So a line in the middle and a shade a little bit of the bottom. And I'm just going all throughout, even my flowers. I'm gonna add a middle line in that leaf and shade a little bit of the bottom, okay? Just so you have a little bit more actual texture than just a few lines, okay? So now that we've added a little bit of shading at the bottom of each leaf, now take our favorite little guy, our favorite tortilla or blending stump, and you're just gonna go and blend that. So you're just gonna kind of take it, remember you're gonna hold it sideways, and you're gonna blend all of that together, okay? So every single leaf, I'm actually blending together. And then my flower, I'm just gonna blend my flower, all right? Because remember, this is just trying to make everything look finished and real smooth, okay? Now, right now, you can add a butterfly, you can add some grass at the bottom, you can add whatever you want. You can even go and get some pens and make them darker, or go to some colored pencils and add some color. You can make it however you want, okay? This is just the simplest way you can do it, okay? So we are now finished, and I hope you had fun making your shells and your flowers. I will see you in 1 month, and if you are not a subscriber, go online to theartisticbox.com and subscribe, okay?